Okay, folks. Before we get into what we're supposed to do for tomorrow, I thought I'd take a look back at some of the things we did today because I think I saw some confusion on the faces of the people in class. So I want to go over this quickly and show you what we were talking about. We did a question on the board that said 26 dogs had been adopted from the Brampton SPCA, and that was 130% of the number that had been adopted last spring. And the question was to figure out how many were actually adopted the spring previous. And there were a couple of suggestions. The number one suggestion, Nathaniel put his hand up and he said what we had to do was take the number 26 and divide it by 1.3 to get our answer. And he told us that the answer was 20. Well, that might seem really simple, and you can see the algorithm there, but you may not understand where he came up with those numbers. So the 26 is pretty obvious. I mean, that's how many dogs were actually adopted from the Brampton SPCA. It's the 130 that you may not feel comfortable with, and you may be wondering why it is we chose to divide it. Well, if you think about it, 130% means that you've got a full 1 plus 30 100ths, okay? Or 1 and 3/10. Okay? Let's see if I can get the actual 3/10 to go down. Okay, 1 and 3/10. There we go. Okay. So if you're thinking about it, that means that you're multiplying, in order to get a percentage, you're actually multiplying it by 1.3. But we're not trying to do that. We're actually trying to find out the number that we started out from. Okay? So if you took this number and you multiplied it by 1.3, you'd get this number. So what we're really trying to do is do the opposite. Are you with me so far? Okay? Because this number is the number we started out from. So if it's 130%, then what we should do is be able to take 26 divided by 1.3, which is the same thing as 130% right up here, and then figure it out. Okay? You with me so far? Okay. And that works whether we're at above 100% or below 100%. Okay? So 26 divided by 1.3 equals 20. Let's try this out on another question. This is one that we didn't do today. Lakehead Elementary School in Thunder Bay, 280 students participating in a walk for cancer research. That's 70% of the student population. How many students attended Lakehead Elementary? Well, to find out what the 70% of the students were, if you had the amount of the students that were in the school, and you wanted to find out what 70% of that amount was, you would take that number, we're going to call it n, and you'd multiply it by 0.7, and then you would get 280. Okay? What we want to find out, though, is 280 is how many participated. We want to find out how many people were in the school as a total. So we have to do the reverse operation. So what we really have to do is do 280 divided by 0.7. All right? Now, I've already done this out. I mean, you can get a calculator for it. I'll give you a second if you want to figure it out yourself. But 280 divided by 7 is what? Pause now and see if you can figure it out. Okay, we're back. If you didn't pause it, we're going to go straight to it. 280 divided by 0.7 is 400. Okay? Now, if you multiplied, if n were 400, and you multiplied 400 by 0.7, it would come out to 280. Does it make sense now? What you're doing is you're switching the operation to the reverse so that you can figure things out along the way. Okay. One of the things that we haven't done is talk about number lines and how it affects this whole thing. Okay. If you think zeros here and a hundred's here, and it just keeps going on and on and on all the way up to the other end. Okay. That's a really badly designed or a very badly drawn arrow, but you get the idea. Okay. So basically, let's just erase this because I don't want to have this in here very much longer. Okay, and then erase it. There we go. Will go away. There we go. Okay. So if 0 is at the far end line there, and let me just get my pen back, and we make this 100, and this is 50. Okay, 0.50, or 5 over 10, or 1/2, or 50%, right? This is 100%, or 1 over 1, or any way you want to do it, and this is 0%. Okay? What a number line will show you is how this number works all the way along, okay? Because what we're doing basically is we're looking at all the numbers that could go across this line. Okay, let's get going that out thing, okay? So if that were the case, then 130 would be here. That's 130%. So you've got a full 1 plus another 30 1/100ths of another 1, okay? Or 3/10ths, okay? Whatever the case may be. So if you look at something on a number line, you could sort of get a better idea of how the numbers are going to switch back and forth. So if something was 100%, say you're buying something at a discount, and something was 100% of the normal cost, and they decide to take it down to, say, 75% of its normal cost, what is really happening is they're putting a number in about here, okay? I know, for those of you that when this stuff really makes sense to you, this seems very elementary, but if you're having a hard time getting it in your head, this will give you an idea of how to do it. Which leads me to what we're going to do tomorrow. This is it, okay? This is a mall, and I'm going to read this part up to you, right up here. I'm going to read this part to you just so you get an idea of what exactly we're doing. Suppose you won a competition at a shopping mall, Bramalea City Center, whatever, and you won $500 to spend at any store in the mall. And you're smart about it, right? You wait to spend your money until the mall has a sidewalk sale. So look at all the different items for sale. You get the basketball net over here, running shoes, inline skates, there's books over here, DVD player, all kinds of stuff. Okay? Look at all the stuff that's there. How would you spend your money? Now, don't forget, you have to add 15% sales tax for each item. How much do you save by buying the items on sale? Well, I want you to show your work and use number lines to illustrate your work if you want to, okay? So if you can figure it out on numbers and you can work it out all on paper, I want to see it. So show your work. But what I want you to do is spend your $500, okay, all of it, according to the prices that are here. Figure out how much you're going to save, and don't forget to add. Now, they have 15% sales tax here. Keep it at 15%. I know the sales tax now is 13%, but 15 is a little easier to work out because numbers like 5 and 10 are a lot easier to work out with percentages, okay? This has to be done in class tomorrow, all right? But don't forget this. What have you learned about percents and how they're used? And you have a nice handy checklist here, too, to make sure that all the work is done properly, all right? Have it done. You can do it on paper. I'd prefer you do it on paper tomorrow. Hand it in before the end of the class. And if you don't finish it, don't take it home. Only do as much as you possibly can in the period you have to get it done. Have a good day, guys.